This is AC Starlord, aka Awesome. Welcome back to my channel. And this is a video on the live action How to Train Your Dragon. And this one is just a common copy of the original source material, which is the animated movie from DreamWorks, How to Train Your Dragon. Um, and usually when I use this word cookie cutter, it usually means a negative thing, bad thing, because like I said that about villains and they're not like original. But this one is pretty much like if you got a cookie cutter and cut every bit and piece of this of the of this movie from the animated one and put it in here, that's exactly what that is. That's exactly what this movie is. It's like a straight clone copy of the animated movie, but it works. This actor right here sounds like the original voice actor was also in This Is the End with um, Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen and all stuff like that. So, and you have Astrid, the actress of Astrid was, she was okay. She wasn't the best at par, but she played the part as she best she could. I felt everyone else played their parts well. If you're asking if Jonah Hill came back, no. But that would have been cool if he did. But they were looking, of course, Hiccup is like a teenager. They were looking for people that were like at least in 19 and 20, I'm assuming, to take up the roles to be the kids. Gerard Butler came back to play the chief. Nick Frost played Gobber, I believe. The guy's the as the Viking of the he's the Viking that is that provides some swords and some of that locksmith kind of um as you say, or swordsmith Viking, and pretty much basically this follows pretty much the same thing as the animated movie where they're like dragons are bad and they destroy us, they destroy our towns, they murder, they kill, and then you get a Hiccup right there that trains Toothless right there and shows the rest of the village that we can train these dragons. They don't have to be like this. They don't have to be. We don't have to kill them. We don't have to murder them. We don't have to do all that stuff. And it follows the lines of that. But there's an extra 30 minutes of this movie on like the last scene where the big queen dragon comes out, and some stuff I saw that I don't think I saw in the animated movie that was added. I think, but all in all, this was great. I mean, it was just awesome to see this in live action instead of animated form. I enjoyed it a lot more than the animated one for sure. Um, as you know, I did a series on the animated ones on here. So this one had more feel to it when he said, "Oh," when like he found out when Hiccup found when Gerard Butler's character, his father, finds out that Hiccup was just doing um parlor tricks with the dragons and showing how you can train them, how you don't have to be like that, and like when he said, "Oh, when he said you're no longer my son," that hit harder. That hit harder in the live action one than it did in the animated one. I know for the animated one, when we grew up, that's what hit us right in the heart, and it probably did. But this one hit a lot harder because it's more, you see the human reaction of Hiccup and Gerard Butler. So seeing them behind a voice behind a microphone saying it. This. had so much more emotion to it and a lot more fun seeing Toothless and all the other dragons in live action form. Toothless performed really well, even though it was a CGI dragon. He performed very well, exactly how Toothless is. Um, all the other actors did. Like I said, Astrid, the actress who played Astrid, to me wasn't the best. That's just my opinion, but that doesn't stop this movie from being good. It's because one actress is not as good as other ones doesn't mean anything. Or actor, the one of the kids that was in Deadpool 2 was in this as well, playing one of the characters that knew all the stats of the dragons. The twins were a little bit different. One was skinnier, one was a little bit bigger, but I mean, the actors look exactly like they're twins. So, and they were good, and they had that one guy that was crushing on Astrid, and then they talked about his dad, like, oh, he lost me in public, and you're just, and then they talk about Hiccup, and like, you're a chief, you get everything. That was that that character that was like in love with Astrid as well, because I know Hiccup did. Hiccup was in love with her, but the other one saying that oh his dad's proud of him, and his dad's not really proud of him at all. They played that off as a joke. It was pretty funny. Um, I just love the simple fact that this movie did exactly what it should have done, copied the animated one, added an extra 30 minutes. It'll be a little bit different. Again, it's not Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch add some things, but it also kept some things original, but also changed it up a little bit so it can be different from the animated movie. This one's just exactly like the animated movie, except more live action, more, I just feel it has more weight to it and more epicness to it being live action. I was very impressed. I'm very impressed by this film and how they made it and how they put it out there and stuff like that. I always wanted a live action How to Train Your Dragon. Even if, like, say the second one's being filmed right now, but even if the second one doesn't like launch off and they like cancel it, this movie right here, again, the first ever How to Train Your Dragon live action is great as it is. But if they do the sequels, that'll be cool too. I know they're working on the second one, but like I said, if something happens, this, like I said, with my animated one, doesn't necessarily need to have a sequel because the first animated one and this one is just as good as it can be. It's even if you don't get a continuous story, you know that okay, at the end of this movie, Vikings and dragons live together. In the very beginning, they don't live together. In the very beginning, they're enemies. Now they're not, and you can go off of your own imaginations from there. But reconfirming with this actor that they are filming the second movie, and that's going to be great. The second movie was awesome. I loved it. Um, I just hope that they change some things up. And if they're going to do the sequels, hope they change some things up in the second and third, because maybe the first movie can be just a copy, cut, paste, put it together, and here's our How to Train Your Dragon. But maybe the second movie can be copy, paste, let's do something different, copy, paste, do something different. Like copy, paste some things, do something different, copy, paste again, and then do something different. Like add some different elements into the second one. Same thing in the third one. Because now that you already trailblazed in the live action realm of this, and you already know what you can do in the limits of this, why don't you change up a little bit of the sequels? You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. But this is really good. Highly recommend checking it out with your family or friends or whatever. If you're a big group like this group right here, a church or just a camp or whatever, and you want to see a movie in the movie theater, go see it. Go see it. Or go see it at the Vacation Bible School or whatever you are doing this summer. with your family and stuff like that, because it's also a kid movie, but it's also a family movie. Whatever you're doing, I highly recommend checking this out. Like, it's going to blow your minds. And the soundtrack was more epic than it was in the animated movie. In the anime movie, the soundtrack is still the same soundtrack, but it just, I think having more of a, I don't know what they did for the animated one, but having more of an orchestra type of like violins and stuff like that, playing the music, and it's just the feel of it made it more epic. And the music with the scenes leading on to like when he's testing out Toothless. That's one of the songs. That one is well known from the animated movie, and it hits really well in this live action one more than it did in the animated one. I gotta say, um, but it's just a great film, and also the music's great. So I highly recommend checking this out when you have the chance. If you like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and deuces. Deuces.